If you can do this one thing that literally just takes a few minutes to implement each and every time that you do Amazon arbitrage sourcing or even wholesale sourcing, then you will be set far above the rest because you're going to learn how to find precise, specific ASINs based on criteria that you want to see, so that way you can source the best ASINs for your business. Now, the concept of doing precision sourcing all comes down to this, that you are looking for items that have a specific set of criteria, and you can take those criteria, put them into this tool, and I'm going to go through how to use this tool, and then ultimately come back with precise products that you are able to go out and find and sell that many other people may not be finding as well. Now, before we get into that, my name is Jimmy Smith, and I have built and scaled multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses online, and I've trained thousands of other sellers to do the same, and I make these videos so that I can help you get started and grow and scale your business into whatever type of online freedom that you are looking to create. Now, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, many of you from this channel may have heard of Keepa and may be utilizing this each and every day in your business. But for me, the precision sourcing methods are by utilizing Keepa's data, and specifically the Keepa Data Product Finder. Now, actually, whenever we're looking into the Keepa Data tool suite, there's more than just the product finder. There is the product viewer. There's the product bestsellers. There's the top seller list, the category tree, and other things as well on here that I utilize all the time, and I train other people on how to do it. If you're interested in any of these specific data tool sets, please let me know. Post that down below in the comments, because I'll make sure to make some videos on some of these other things as well. But specifically today, we're going to focus on the product finder, because whenever you're looking for products for your Amazon business, you want to find the exact right items that have the exact right criteria for your business. Now, everyone may have different criteria that you're looking for, whether you want faster moving products, whether you want products that sell above the buy box, whether you want to do Amazon to Amazon flips, or you're looking for items that are out of stock or that Amazon is on or Amazon is not on. The Keepa Data Product Finder gives you all of the ability to do just that. And so that's why I love this tool. There's actually over 750 million ASINs that are in Amazon's catalog as of the last time I looked, which was a couple months ago. And I'm sure that continues to grow and grow each and every day. Eventually, if not already, they will get over 1 billion ASINs. And Keepa gives us the ability to whittle down the over 750 million ASINs to 5 or 10 or just 1 in some cases, because of all of the data points that we can pull on, these different levers and parameters that we have at our disposal. So let's go ahead and get into one quick way that you can use this from a precision sourcing standpoint. Now, whenever you're sourcing, you want to kind of zoom out and think about what types of ASINs that you're looking for. Typically, you want to make sure that they are selling well. Now, it could be selling really fast. It could be selling regularly but slower. But for this training, I'm just going to go ahead and put in a sales rank that is underneath currently 300,000 in just any category. Now, you can put this at 5,000 if you wanted. You could put this at 200,000, but for this training, I'm just going to do 300,000 as the max, and I'm going to continue to make sure that that's the case across the board, so that way we know that we are working with something that at least has some consistent sales. Okay, so once we are done with this, we want to make sure to also input a price. Now, for me, I like to make sure that all of my products are above $15 if at all possible. Now, there are going to be some cases where, maybe I'll list something that's a little bit cheaper, but ultimately I'd like to make sure that this is at $15 or higher. And so I'm going to put that in the from section in the new price. The reason I'm utilizing the new price is because sometimes there is no buy box. And so I just want to make sure that as a new seller, that the minimum price is $15 across the board or higher. Now, if you really want to hone in even further, you could say it's between $15 to $40, or you could say from $30 to $50. Whatever it is that you're looking for, utilize this tool to source precisely the ASINs that you are looking for. Now, in this example, I'm going to look for Amazon being out of stock, and I'm actually going to also show another example that we can go through here in just a minute, so that way you can see multiple ways to bring back precise ASINs that you're looking for. Now, after this basic setup here of a sales rank under 300,000, Amazon currently out of stock on this listing, and a new price of $15 or higher across the board over the last 180 days, I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way down to this next section. Now, what I usually recommend is there are actually 14 different categories that are ungated for new sellers. So if you're a new seller, make sure to check out my video that I did a while back on those 14 ungated categories. You still have brand gating, but ultimately the categories themselves will be open to you. If you're a more experienced seller, then utilize whatever categories you have at your disposal. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and go through all root categories, and I'm going to select the category that I would like to sell it. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll scroll down to arts and crafts here. Arts, crafts, and sewing is what we're going to use. And we will then also utilize the title field here to hone in on a specific brand in a little bit. As of right now, just with those few parameters that we have, I'm down to 334,000 products out of the 750 million products, which is pretty crazy. Now, I'm going to also go down here and look at the offer count. So I'm going to use the new offer count. This total offer count is actually new, which is pretty crazy. This is new as of the time of this recording. So I did not realize that that was there. Now we're going to be utilizing the new offer count, which I'm going to put as a minimum of 3 across the board because we want to get rid of all of the private label and wholesale opportunities that are exclusive. So that way, as an arbitrage seller, we can utilize this to our advantage. Now, if you're somebody that is doing wholesale and you're looking for wholesale accounts, well, you could actually set up these offer counts to have between 3 to 5 sellers or 3 to 8 sellers. So that way you're honing in on opportunities that exist that aren't just arbitrage opportunities, and you're not dealing with the private label opportunities, but there's still a small amount of sellers that indicates a potential wholesale option. Now, I've done a Keepa Data Product Finder video on that concept specifically in a prior video on YouTube. You can check that out after you're done with this as well. Now, another thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually looking for opportunities that are arbitrage. So I'm going to put new FBA at 4 or higher. Now, this is fun for me to hone in on more potential options, but if you are really thinking about this and thinking outside the box, sometimes you may want to be the only FBA seller. And in that case, you could put 0 FBA, or you could just put 1 FBA if you're willing to compete with just another seller. And in this case, we're down to 1,372 products. Now, if I wanted to be the only FBA seller, I could go over here and put in the maximum at 0. So that way there's 0 FBA. And now we're down to 828 products where there are 0 FBA sellers on that listing. But in this case, I actually want to find items with a lot of FBA sellers because that typically will indicate some sort of arbitrage activity. It could also be a wholesale account, but more than likely it's got a high likelihood of the arbitrage opportunity. So we're down to 1,372 products in this case. Now, I'm actually going to continue to scroll down here. You could add in other things such as any of these buy box % Amazon days. You could add in that you don't want to deal with variations. You could deal with the 90 days out of stock percentage. So in this case, I actually want to make sure that Amazon has been out of stock more than, let's just say 70% of the time. So I'm going to use this 90 days out of stock percentage, which is showing how often Amazon has been out of stock over that 90-day period. I want to ensure that they've been out of stock more than 70% of the time. So in this case, I put this in, we're at 1,372 and we're down to 1,361 products. So it just got rid of 9 opportunities that I didn't want to touch in this particular case. You could also use any of these other filters. Maybe you want to see a certain amount of sales rank drops. You want to see 10 sales rank drops. Now we're down to 1,241. Or if you want to see 30 sales rank drops, you can do that as well. And we're down to 649 products. So you're bringing back a precise list of ASINs. Now you can go through and add in review counts. You can use drop percentages and so much more. There's literally millions of different ways to input information for this Keepa Data Product Finder. But if you were looking for precise products, we've already got a very good list. I would actually recommend going through 649 products here and going through each of them to find the potential arbitrage opportunities. But what you could do, let me go ahead and click on Find Products so we can see what this looks like. You can see there's Red Heart yarn, Lion brand yarn, Lion brand yarn, Lion brand yarn. And so if we were to look at, let's just click on this Red Heart one. We look at this over the last year, you can see the FBA sellers up here at $27.70 and $28.49. Amazon has come in stock at $11.47. By the way, this could be a potential Amazon to Amazon flip if this is profitable enough at these prices. If Amazon comes back in at $11 or even back here, they were in at $10.32, could have bought it there and flipped it for $28.49 had you wanted to do that method. But in looking at this, we've got a good opportunity here to try and find this 3-pack that exists out on the Google interwebs, right? And go source for an opportunity to purchase this and sell it on Amazon. Or as I train regularly inside of my Evergreen sourcing system and other things, you can utilize the Keepa tracking alerts to track for the next time that Amazon comes in stock at $11 or less, then Keepa will send you an alert and you can go buy that product as soon as Amazon comes in stock at that low price point, right? And so these are the opportunities that you can have whenever you're doing this Keepa precision sourcing method. Now, another thing that you can do is if you know that you have access to Lion brand yarn specifically, you can go back to this filter. You could have all of the same exact filters. And if you were looking at a brand, maybe you know you're ungated in a certain brand, utilize the Keepa Data Product Finder to allow you to hone in on just the products for that brand brand that you want to see. And so if I look at the title here and I want to see Lion brand, I can put that into the title. Now we're down to 8 products. And if I specifically want to make sure that it is going to be the 2 words of Lion brand next to each other versus Lion blah 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 brand or brand blah 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 Lion, I'm going to put these in quotes. And Keepa gives you a little explanation here of that, of how to really manipulate some of the title fields here. And I recommend reading this nice little blurb they give you. But in this case, we've now got 8 products. So if I had only had access to Lion brand products, I would have been able to go to Keepa, put in Lion brand in the title, make sure that that's all that I'm seeing. So that way I'm not wading through a bunch of products that maybe I'm gated in. And then I can also put in all that other precise data to ensure that I'm finding the best Lion brand opportunities for the particular ASINs that I'm looking for. Now, this is extremely powerful if you really look at what you can do in your sourcing. If you are on Walmart.com, Target.com, any store at all, and you're looking at brands, I recommend actually coming to this website, going to the Keepa Data Product Finder, and find the brands that you know you have access to, and just input some basic data that you want to see. A certain sales rank. You want to see Amazon out of stock, or do you want to see Amazon in stock? Do you want to see a minimum price point? Do you want to see a certain amount of sellers on the listing, a certain amount of FBA sellers on that listing? And then ultimately come down here and utilize the title field for Lion brand in this case, or whatever the brand is. It could be, if you're doing store private label brands, it could be something such as Equate, right? Maybe I want to see Equate. Now I'm utilizing arts, crafts, and sewing, and so I'm going to go up and do all root categories. And now we've got 5 products that are Equate products that meet the other criteria as well. And if I look at these, let's see what pulls up. So we've got a couple of these 2-packs here. We've got this fiber powder. If I click into this fiber powder, it looks like this is a fairly steady ASIN. I don't know the profitability of it, but ultimately you can see how fast this can go to find the precise ASINs that you were looking for whenever you're doing your sourcing. This is one of my, if not my favorite method of sourcing, because you're kind of doing a method of manual sourcing where you're not using a tool like Tactical Arbitrage or Nepedo, which I love both of those, but you are finding the brands on a website that you know you can source. You know it's a national retailer that Amazon is okay with you purchasing from, and then you can take those brands, come over to the Keepa Data Product Finder, put in some basic information that you want to see, and then ultimately come down here and put in the title the actual brand that you are looking for. Now, I recommend making sure that you're ungated in this brand as well. If you are gated, then ultimately it's kind of a waste of time. But you can go through and do this on all the brands that exist inside of the stores that you're sourcing from. And this will speed up your sourcing to find the best products. The only caveat here is if you're using the Keepa Data Product Finder and you put in certain parameters, then ultimately it will filter out other things that may actually be good things. Maybe you would have been okay with 350,000 of a sales rank. Maybe you would have found a very profitable $12 item had you not put in a minimum of $15. Maybe you're okay competing against Amazon or any of these other things that we put in here. Maybe you don't want to see just 4 FBA sellers as a minimum, but you're okay with any amount of FBA sellers. And now that product count went from 5 up to 10. So if you didn't see it, I removed the FBA sellers. It went from 5 products, then up to 10 now. So I would have missed out on these other 5 products that potentially could still be good because it didn't have the minimum amount of FBA sellers. So you can see how this can be powerful, because if you want to find specific ASINs, you can put in all the information and the data that you want inside the Keepa Data Product Finder and then manipulate that data to pull back the precise ASINs that you are looking for. This is something that I train on regularly inside of the YouTube channel that you're currently on, but also what I train on inside of my Evergreen sourcing system. You can actually check that out at askjimmysmith.com/evergreen. And if you're somebody looking to grow and scale your business, learning these sourcing techniques and strategies, learning how to grow and scale your team and other things into multiple marketplaces and platforms, then head over to my Business Building Legends community. You can apply to join at askjimmysmith.com/legends. Let me know if you have any questions down below on this video, or if you'd like to see more of the Keepa data features. I'm happy to make more videos on that. Let me know specifically what you're looking for. Hope this video helped you and blessed you, and you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.